Good morning, and thank you, Paul. I'm Gary Matthews, the Vice Chancellor for Resource Management and Planning. One of the hallmarks of UC San Diego has been its discovery and its invention. Clearly, you have heard some of the discoveries and some of the inventions. What I'm really happy to do today is be able to talk to you about the practical application of some of those technologies. Many of us are starting to use a phrase that we've taken those discoveries and we've started to plant them in our own backyard. So we are very proud to announce that the UC San Diego is quickly becoming one of the world's leading universities in renewable energy production. Within the next couple of years, UC San Diego will self-generate approximately 10 to 15% of our annual electrical needs through the use of renewables. Currently, we're generating about 85% of our electrical needs through fossil fuels, but as you can see, we're transitioning to those renewables over the next several years. We have installed a number of photovoltaic arrays across the campus, and for those of you that aren't familiar with PV or the jargon, this black panel with the silver threading is a sample photovoltaic array, and these arrays generate electricity from the power of light, from the power of sun. We've installed installations on our Jacobs School of Engineering. We've also installed a unit on our Rady School of Management, and we are fast becoming a leader in the nation as one of the universities that has the most photovoltaics on its property. So I'm excited to announce today that a new photovoltaic solar project has been initiated. We've recently signed a contract to provide 1 megawatt of renewable energy here at UC San Diego. Beginning within the next several months, we will begin the installation of solar arrays similar to those across the campus. We are just beginning in terms of some of the variety of projects that we're looking at. We clearly understand that solar alone will not provide everything that we need. Just this morning, I was hoping that the sun would come out so that we could really talk about our solar and celebrate. And it's out. In the very near future, we will be launching what we think to be one of the most exciting, innovative renewable energy projects here in San Diego, if not in the nation. We're about to install 2 fuel cells powered by biogas captured from the Point Loma waste treatment plant. We will receive methane gas that's currently vented or torched, flared into the atmosphere, and use it as power to provide fuel cells as well as electricity and cooling capacity for the campus. We're projecting that we will assign 2 megawatts of power for similar fuel cells looking like this. It's a very rewarding approach because we're taking something that's truly being wasted and turning it into energy for the campus's needs. We're also in the process of negotiating for renewable energy from wind farms, and we're not at this point talking about wind farms on the campus as much as maximizing the use of existing wind farms. Routinely, we find that the wind farms that exist are not necessarily utilizing their full capacity, particularly in the evenings and late nights when most people are asleep, industry may be asleep or not generating, and those are times that there's excess capacity. So we are negotiating with providers to capture that excess capacity and reduce our consumption here on the campus to throttle down the existing cogeneration plant that we're operating. With the 3 projects that I mentioned, UC San Diego will have a capacity to self-produce roughly 7.4 megawatts of its own power, renewable power at that. And it will become a leader amongst all American universities in the generation of renewable and use of renewable power. Our renewable capacity will be enough to produce 29 million kilowatts of hours a year. That's enough to provide electricity for roughly 2,100 homes a year and remove about 10,000 tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere each year. And that's roughly the equivalent of about 1,500 cars being removed from the road. So as you can see, these efforts add up not only to provide resources for the campus, but they also provide resources for the local community. Oops, let me stop there. Renewable energy production is only part of the story with green practices here at UC San Diego. And I'm sorry that I've stolen Steve's slide. We are working with our energy fleets, our vehicle fleets rather, and we have changed our fuels. We've looked at the use of biodiesel, which you'll hear a little bit more about from Melanie. Electricity, we're using natural gas and hybrid engines. We're also designing all of our new buildings so that they meet or exceed the LEED qualifications for silver buildings. And that's an interesting rating system that's nationwide. And we've also decided that we will increase our recycling. Currently, we're recycling about 40% of all of solid waste, and our goal is to be a zero-waste campus by 2020. So we are engaged in that with our students, with faculty and staff, and we believe that we've got tremendous assets ahead of us. UC San Diego has some really innovative projects on the horizon, and one will be the use of seawater for cooling. It's a potential project that we're looking into, using chilled water or cool water from the sea. We're just starting that process. We will take cold water from a deep water trench right off the coast and use it to air condition laboratories and other facilities. Instead of using large amounts of energy to air condition buildings, the underwater trench right off the coast could supply a clean renewable energy source, cold water. That project is years out, but it's certainly something that we are exploring. With that project, an added benefit is that there will be roughly 1 million gallons of water saved every year. So some of the highest utility usage in the state of California comes from the transport of water, as well as clearly we recognize the need to conserve water because it's becoming more of a scarce commodity. Again, we have seen the research done by our colleagues at Scripps, most recently talking about the water and capacity in Lake Mead, and we recognize the need as a campus to conserve our resources, and water is certainly a primary resource. So I'd like to thank you very much, and now I'd like to introduce Steve Kay, Dean of the Biological Sciences.